My name is Tony. I'm a little bit of an adventurer and I love motorbikes. So when I signed up to the Monkey Run Mongolia, I thought this is right up my street. I was going to be riding a tiny bike across Mongolia with a really good mate, and it was bound to be a laugh. That was until we found ourselves slap bang in the middle of the Gobi Desert, and suddenly the reality hit. The heat, the isolation, the breakdowns, the crashes, the arguments, the laughs, and the moments we would genuinely question whether we'd bitten off more than we could chew. This video is a small insight into our journey and what it was really like. The daily trials and tribulation, the unexpected challenges, the moments that tested us, and the laughs that got us through them. Because it wasn't just about getting from A to B. Like any good adventure, it was about everything that happened along the way. In the last episode, you saw how the Gobi Desert quickly humbled us, questioning if we were even able to continue our journey at all. Teaming up with brothers Matt and Ben gave us new optimism, and after some local Mongolians helped us out, we headed off back into the desert to restart our adventure. Welcome to episode 2, where we start our journey as a 4, attempting the next leg of our adventure across the Gobi Desert with a 70-kilometre stretch ahead of us on another blazing hot day. I don't know if the camera will pick this up, but just out there it looks like water or that the ground is flaming, but it's actually the heat, and it is only 9:48 a.m. There she goes. We set off with a newfound optimism. This time we had plenty of water with us. Lisa had even packed her own tent, and as a 4 it felt far more achievable. We set off strong, and we could feel that Gobi heat increasing with every hour. We spent a good few hours traversing a variety of the Gobi's finest terrain, from compacted washboard sections that shake everything loose, to soft, deep sand, dry riverbeds and rocky bits. At one point we could see some camels in the distance, so we stopped off where the camels have their water stop, and we met an actual camel herder who couldn't resist to go on our small little bikes. After we had a little bit of a muck about, we continued on, and at around 1ish we came to a small wooden shack, obviously used by the farmer as it was covered in animal droppings. The plan was to stop for lunch. Now my idea of lunch was a handful of M&Ms, lots of water, and to just keep going to get out of this heat. But it seems like everyone else was planning a bit of a proper cooker stop. But that was until Ben noticed something that was about to turn everything upside down. It was at this point that Ben noticed that his airbox was hanging wide open, with the air filter half hanging out. On closer inspection, 3 of the 4 bikes all showed the same problem. We were halfway through our journey in the searing heat, and this was serious. During the bike fix the day before, Matt had noticed that some of the screws on the airboxes weren't securing properly, but at the time he didn't think it was too much of a problem. Now, midway through the desert, and the engines were pulling sand directly into the carbs. I couldn't believe it. It was our second day crossing the desert, and yet again we found ourselves in yet another serious situation. It was far too risky to attempt stripping the fiddly carbs out here in the desert, where parts could easily get lost. So we did a makeshift repair with lots of duct tape. It was at this point that we decided to head 15 kilometres out towards the nearest road and complete the rest of our journey on tarmac instead of cutting across the desert, hopefully making us a little more visible should anything go wrong. Reaching the main road, we still had a good 35 kilometres to go, but with Lisa and Ben both being inexperienced riders, they didn't want to ride on the Mongolian roads. My argument was, these roads are long and open with great visibility. All you have to do is simply jump on and off if you see something. And this is where the decision was. It was me against 3. So what do you do in that situation? I did the typical Tony thing, of course. My suggestion was this massively long road, as you can see in the background. You've got visibility as far as you can see. You've got a lot of visibility. My thing was, why don't we jump on the road, get a bit of ground under us, and jump off the road when we see anything big coming. We just check our mirrors. They've all dallied around, split the group, and I've said, right, I'm going on the road. So I've made lots of headway, but then I can see them still in the background, so I can't leave my friend, can I? So now I've gone back and I'm off on the off-road track, but it's going to take us another few hours. There's a balance, isn't there, between your own safety in terms of heat, water and all the rest of it, and what everybody else wants. It was a highly tense situation. The bikes were at risk of breakdown, and we still had a really long way to go. The road offered us a safer, faster way out. I couldn't leave Lisa, however, as she was my responsibility, and if I'd left her, I knew she was going to rely more on Matt and Ben, which I couldn't impose that responsibility on them, especially on Matt. He was already helping his brother Ben out with his leg injury, and it was a massively frustrating situation and one I definitely lost my cool over. After a good hour struggling in the sand, however, Lisa decided to join me on the road, with Matt and Ben still deciding to stick to the sand. Confident that they were next to the road and in easy reach of help, me and Lisa decided to hit the tarmac and make the last leg of the journey into town. 35 kilometres later, the sight of the small town was absolutely exhilarating. Pulling into that town, we stopped off for something to eat, and the boys showed up not too long afterwards. The locals pointed us towards this place, which was a hotel with a small shop underneath. A perfect place for us to stay for the night, fix the bikes and assess our plans for the next day.
Well, nice.
But without a shower.
Without a shower.
There's no showers in the whole region,
We've had
apparently.
no shower how many days? So Tony just goes, right, we've paid 20 quid for this Jumeirah Marsa Al Arab hotel and it's not even any toilet paper. So she says, I'll do a one sheet. Put my eyes, red raw, full sand, Gobi Desert 101, in your face, up your face.
I could put up a tent and all that. Oh my god, it takes like an hour. I'm not even very good at doing it. Tony usually does most of it for me, but it is absolutely the last thing you want to be doing after a full day of like.
So I just asked ChatGPT, how do we get out of this this desert? It's a bit daunting.
That morning I started fixing the bikes pretty early, with Matt working alongside me fixing his. Ben's carb was the worst of all the bikes, with so much sand inside that I'm surprised that it was actually able to move at all. We cleaned the airboxes too, and I use these really small zip ties to secure them shut. Now you've got to remember that these bikes have been used and abused by lots of previous riders, all doing makeshift repairs and pushing these bikes through terrain that they were never meant for. I noticed on these bikes that there were no gaskets in the airboxes and bits of silicone sealant that were an attempt at a gasket. Giving these a good clean, securing them tightly shut, it should see us through the rest of our trip. Now the plan was for Matt and Ben to hit the road that morning and to make their way around another 70 kilometres to the next town of Gobi. Lisa and I were going to spend the day in this town, visit the local Nadam festival and organise our own form of transport to meet the boys and re-team up in Gobi. So, we are staying a day in our hotel, which is in, can't remember the name of the place, but you'll know because I would have mentioned it before. Basically, I'm fixing the bikes. Oops, sorry. I've just stripped and cleaned the boys' carbs. Well, supervised Mac, he was doing his one, I was doing Ben's, his brother's. They've gone off to Gobi. While I'm down there stripping the bikes, the man's come over and asked, is your friends okay? Because he noticed they've left. And I'm like, yeah, no, they're fine. They've gone on. And then he said, do you want to wash your clothes? They've got a washing machine like an old twin tub here. So, Lisa's just gone and grabbed her gear. I'm going to grab mine. And we are going to do our washing in a twin tub while I clean the bikes, while she scouts out what's around here. And we can have a bloody pair of fresh socks and stuff and knickers. And I might even wash my jeans because I was wearing them from the airport in London, which was back in, I don't even know what day that was now. Wednesday, and it is Thursday, so that was 8 days ago. So yes, I'm going to do a wash,
have some clean clothes and smell fresh. It's your dirty fucking pants.
That's yours. I saw them when I put them in. What, you got to tip it down the sink in the bathroom?
No, there isn't anyone there, so I'm just making it up as I go along.
There's got to be a drain.
Tom, come and have a look, I'll show you. I've made a video. So, let me show you. There's one bucket, yeah, already full.
Is that the dirty water?
Wait, it ain't clean water, is it?
No, but I wonder where you got it from.
I'm like, how does this work? So Chuck says that means drain, yeah? So I switched it to drain and nothing happened. Then I realised, oh, hello.
Oh.
But now, because there's not much water in it, you've got to put it all the way down like this.
Well done, Lise. Watch out.
Oh, fuck.
Before you cause an electrical disaster down here. All right, so
Well,
this
I've
is
got
a
to keep
proper.
emptying it.
This is a proper hand wash.
So, I've washed your knickers, you've changed my hair.
With fresh underwear on the go, me and Lisa headed out to the local Nadam festival to watch some wrestling, grab a bite to eat and stock up on a few essentials from the shop. But by early evening, a text had come through from Matt. We're turning back. The terrain is impassable. After a gruelling 8 hours out in the desert, the boys returned to where they had started that morning. When they arrived, Matt explained that the terrain had become completely impossible, with loose sand, treacherous rocky sand dune sections, and they found it impossible to navigate it safely. It was then that we reconvened as a group to work out a new plan. If the boys had spent the entire day battling their way through that terrain, Lisa simply had no chance of making it through. We realised we needed to get much further north and to get the hell out of the desert. There was no point trying to force our way through the Gobi. At our current pace, we'd never make Yeru Lodge in the north, and at this rate, we might not even make it onto the steppe at all. So we changed tactics. We spoke with a hotel owner to see if he could find someone with a truck that would be prepared to drive 4 bikes and 4 people 600 kilometres north, putting some serious distance between us and the desert and getting us onto the next phase of our adventure and onto the Mongolian steppe. The hotel owner organised this small crew cab truck complete with driver to take us to Lund. We paid about £100 each and we spent 12 hours cramped in the back of this truck, knees aching, wincing at every overtake. If you've ever been to Mongolia, you'll know exactly what I mean. Our driver stopped to take us to the big Nadam festival in Ulaanbaatar, so we spent about an hour there watching horse riders, and we even got to ride on some of the Mongolian horses, which I wasn't too keen on, to be honest. Just look at my face. The clouds though started to close in and thunder began crackling in the distance. This was worlds away from the scorching Gobi heat that we were used to. We arrived around 1 AM in a rainy, fully booked Lund. The driver offered to let us sleep in his truck for the night, but we didn't want to keep him any longer than he'd already spent getting us here. Luckily, the roadside cafe that we'd arrived at kindly let us pitch our tents in their back garden, so we started pitching our tents by torchlight. So we've driven to Lund, the next town, with the guy that we asked from the hotel to charter us here. And basically the Nadam festival's on. Everywhere is absolutely chock-a-block. We drove to 2 different hotels. There's no space anywhere. We got to this sort of like almost, it's like a bit of a service. These places are a bit sort of service station-y. They're on the side of the road. This is the building. It's got a restaurant in there, a little shop, and upstairs I think are hotel rooms. There's a big blue gate and a wall, and there's a couple of gers inside there. I think some of the staff sleep in the gers and that. They've basically said that we're allowed to pitch our tents inside the gers and bring our bikes in, so we are setting up camp in the back of the hotel at this place in Lund somewhere, and I'll show you the camp in a bit if it's not too dark. This is it from the inside at the top end. Shadowed. It's currently 2 AM and it is raining. Little did I know, but things were about to get a whole lot worse. Tune in to the next episode as we attempt to cross Mongolia's epic landscapes on these tiny bikes. You'll find all the videos in this series under my Monkey Run Mongolia playlist. And if you're thinking about taking on the Monkey Run Mongolia yourself, then check out my top tips video, which includes everything that I wish I'd known before setting off. Until next time, see you in the next one.